Nithyanandam, this is Bodhana. I have been longing to make the next video to share with you all because you know I've been in India and I'm still here. Now we have finished the Sadashivoham 2016 program, but I'm going to revisit a couple of things that I've been looking forward to tell you about. So if you've been looking at my Facebook, you've noticed that there's been changes in the type of jewelry I'm wearing and also what we call the tilak here, the bindi. So I'm going to share this with you and some of the most amazing things that have happened. So first of all, you're noticing that I'm wearing a nose ring, some piercings here, as well as this other, what we'll call traditional jewelry. Very traditional from here in South India. And why am I wearing this? Now, wearing this, as well as these things, mostly is attributed to a bride or a young girl, maybe someone around the age 15 or 16. So why is an adult woman wearing this? This is all part of a beautiful process that Swamiji gave us just before Sadashivoham. In fact, just a few days. The process was called an identity process, taken directly from the Shastras. At this point, Swamiji's only using Shastras so that we can be learning things and always go directly to the source. Why is it being done? Why is it being told to us? Why are we practicing it? So this particular practice, called the identity process, was one of the most profound and beautiful things I've done. Beautiful also, I can say, because actually it is about beauty for me. So in this identity process, there is a number of us that were part of it in the Nithyananda Yogam team. And what happened in this process is that through direct contact with Sadashiva, and I'll explain in a minute how that direct contact happened. Through direct contact with Sadashiva, we were given direct instruction on going back to a previous life, a previous incarnation, where there would either have been fulfillment or lack of fulfillment. For example, one young man from Los Angeles was told to wear the color green. Why? Because in some previous existence, he was a plant. As a plant, he had such fulfillment. He felt so happy and fulfilled in that life that that one piece of fulfillment is lacking in this life. So by wearing that color green, it really brought up for him in his biomemory itself that particular existence. Then he can use that fulfillment to make a direct deepening his bhakti with Swamiji, his devotion to this lifetime. So that's a small example. Now for myself, I had direct contact with Sadashiva myself through the Garba. You all remember we had several sharings on stage about this amazing alchemy product called the Garba. I'm sorry I didn't bring it. It's the 4 little tubes that were bound with thread. These tubes are filled with an enlightenment powder which Swamiji made. When we hold the Garba, we have direct contact with Sadashiva. So Swamiji had put us in a process and we closed our eyes, we were holding the Garba, and he said, just, listen, see what the Garba is telling you. I had direct instruction at that point to dress a particular way. I was given the name of a person. I was told to dress exactly like this person in order to carry the exact space that this person carries when she's doing Akashic reading. Now, if you know about Akashic reading, it's connecting with cosmic energy directly and being able to read all things happen in the past, present, and future of a person's life. So obviously, if you're given that power to do Akashic reading, you are completely integrated, completely authentic, taking complete responsibility. I'll use one other word, no compromise. So this is the energy that this person was embodying, why I was told to be like her, dress like her, be like her. So what was so beautiful is I got the exact instructions. I saw pictures in my mind of how I should look, how I should dress. It was exactly this center bullock nose ring, 2 piercings here, the earrings traditional, 3 necklaces, bracelets, having the hair back. Now in this case, it was not a sari, it was a half sari. And so I went ahead and did all this. Now my next instruction was from this particular space to call my mother. This was amazing for me, how specific the instructions were, and also once you enter into any practice like this, how fun is it? Like, I'm doing all of this and I'm calling my mother, then what? See, I've done so much completion with my mom. I can say as of 4 years ago, my relationship with my mom has completely changed to such a beautiful, beautiful relationship. It's deepened so much. We have so much deeper understanding. We've cleared away layers and layers and layers of miscommunication, misperceptions. So when I was dressed like this and people are saying, why are you dressed up like this? What are you doing? And I say, oh, I have to do this to call my mother. They all said, oh, are you having a problem with your mother? I said, no, I'm having a beautiful relationship with my mother. And Sadashiva sees something now in me that holding a particular space and calling my mother, something else will be revealed. So I made the call to my mother. That itself, in a way, is almost like a comedy. Everything that went wrong, could have gone wrong, went wrong. You know, internet didn't work. I called, it got cut. I called, it got cut. The phone call got cut. My mom's getting a little frustrated. There's no video camera. She wants the video camera. Anyway, it was all quite humorous. And I actually now is sort of having some tension, like, I have to do this. Like, Sadashiva, I have to make this work. And it's not working. But I can tell you that eventually all the energy settled down. And my mom and I were on two-way call. She noticed all of the dress. And, you know, she asked about it. And by the end, I'm not sure exactly what it is that Sadashiva wanted revealed. But I made the call. I did exactly as Sadashiva wants. This is something that's always been easy for me to do. I finished the call. I was walking off to another direction when my instructor, it's Maha Yoga, she saw me and she said, so you are, what's next in your process with the process with Sadashiva? I said, oh, it's all done. She goes, I'm not sure about that. I said, oh yes, Sadashiva said, dress like this woman, carry the space like Akashic reading, and make the call to your mom. That's it, finished, over. She goes, I don't think so. Let me just check something. So she closed her eyes and also went into that Akashic space, also accessed Sadashiva on my behalf, opened her eyes and said, no, this is not done. She goes, until you're able to manifest exactly what your words are, you keep on carrying this particular space. What again I'll call the space of no compromise, and I'll explain why. I said, are you sure? She said, absolutely. She said, what's happening is that you're not yet able to manifest the exact reality what you want, because there is this leftover space from a previous lifetime where there was compromise. So until that's complete, and she said, you'll know it's complete because you'll have the words of what you want to manifest, immediately will manifest. Now I'll tell you, I'm very good at manifesting. Even in this process, in order to manifest the jewelry, all of this was part of the process, the ability to instantly manifest. Maha Yoga herself was an example. We're just sitting there. She said out loud, I need to manifest red bangles. She didn't even move from her spot. And within, I'd say 10 to 15 minutes, she manifested red bangles. I myself is in a state where I actually have to go out physically and manifest. I'm not yet having it come directly to me. That's another stage. So anyway, the process began. What I want to now talk about is this issue of compromise. So as I worked on what I saw as the space of this other girl, woman, Maha Yoga gave me feedback that I'm not fully there. She said, you're half Bodhana, half Western, half Hindu, kind of patchworking it together. And that immediately resonated with me when I started becoming a yoga teacher. See, many of you out there are so passionate and you're such strong seekers. Yoga is your path. You are so connected to it. You're so close. You know that you're manifesting certain aspects of the original yoga. So you take this yoga workshop from someone you consider reliable and authentic, and you take this yoga workshop. But I was exactly in this place in 2006 where we patchwork it together because we don't know otherwise. We're from the West. We don't have the resources of the source itself. If you don't have a guru who's working from the source itself, how do you know which? So for me, for example, I'd start my class with Om. I'm figuring, okay, Om definitely is from the source. That's a good way to start a yoga class. And I would use other things. I would try to use authentic Indian music. I try to use postures that I thought were authentic, more like, you know, than a posture or something like having a high temperature, which I didn't think was authentic in the studio. Even so, we can call this as compromise because it's patchworking here and there. Sadashiva himself is the originator of yoga and of the whole agamas, which if you've watched any of the videos from Swamiji, you know now that it's the source for cooking, it's the source for yoga, it's the source for even the dress I'm wearing, it's the source for how to behave in puja, how to do a puja. All of these Hindu traditions are directly from Sadashiva himself. How do we know though? So just like me, I know many of you are wanting to be working from the source and you don't know how. And what happens deep in your bio-memory, any part of you that's already been in India in a previous lifetime, has been a yogi in a previous lifetime, has been connected to Swamiji or Sadashiva in a previous lifetime, that bio-memory is literally compromised. It's crying. It wants authenticity. It wants integrity and responsibility, and we don't know how. And you'll find it leaking out in areas here and there. Particularly, you won't be able to be manifesting what it is you want. So now, here I am, fast forward from 2006. I've met Swamiji. He's given the first Nithyananda Yoga teacher training in 2006, where finally I'm finding a source, where everything I can put forward now is directly from Swamiji and the source. Even at that time, though, we're evolving. So here today, now we're using the agamas, which Swamiji's just started giving to the public with 3 tetras of information from the source itself. Now finally, if we ask, if we know what we want in our seeking and can ask, we can be working directly from the source and fulfilling these parts of us. So back to the identity process. I showed up next day in a sari and in some of this jewelry, and my instructor, Mahayoga, looks at me and says, "What's this?" I said, "What do you mean, what's this?" She's like, "You're wearing one here, something else here. You're not wearing half sari, you're wearing full sari." She said, "Sadashiva told you exact instructions. You're doing half Bodhana, half Western, half Hindu." You know, I took this as a little bit of a shock, but it's the truth. And why? Now, the only reason why is my lack of paying attention to detail. I simply didn't even have my eyes open. When I was holding the garba and Sadashiva is showing me, this is definitely a place of compromise. Lack of attention to all these little details. I didn't even notice it was a half sari, not full sari. So, right now in this traditional dress that I'm showing you, in the agamas, it says very specifically 3 nose piercings. Very specifically, type of earrings, necklace, all of this. Now, as an adult, maybe I would be removing this, but just for the sake of the video and for what I was wearing in the process, I'm showing it to you today. Then, another thing that came together for me is that one day on stage, Swamiji is so beautifully decked out and dressed in his gold, and he's talking about all the complaints about him wearing the gold. Why are you wearing the gold? What is the need for this? He's simply showing us beauty so that our eyes can fall on him and have beauty. Then I got such a huge click. Why not all of us as gods and goddesses? At this point where he says we're no longer humans, we're a different species. I can also give darshan of myself, of the beauty that Sadashiva is showing me. I had this big insight, and even I had the completion and powerfulness to go up to people and say, "I'm showing you the beauty." And people were happy about it. Everybody was so happy to see me dressed this way, happy to see the beauty. I got so much feedback of how much people appreciated me reflecting or showing this beauty. So we're all in this amazing space now, this movement into powerfulness, into going beyond humanness, into gods, and let's say Godel, and Godel, God, or let's see, how would I say? Godelises. Just expressing and radiating the beauty, the expansion that Sadashiva wants for us. And then taking it back again to yoga itself. If you are a yoga teacher, looking for that authentic seeking, that completion that will complete you and your clients, know now that it's all being shown in the agamas, in the source. There'll be a Nitya Yoga teacher training coming up in February 26th. You yourself can go straight to the source, get the teachings from the source, go back and be complete, no compromise as Godels and Godelesses. So this is coming from here in the Bengaluru Aadheenam with Bodhana, Inner Awakening, coming up February 26th to March 23rd through Mahashivaratri. Shivaratri, something not to be missed. I've been on this campus at least twice for Mahashivaratri. So thank you for watching. I was so happy to share all of this with you. I would love to answer any of your questions either on Facebook chat or my YouTube channel chat. And keep watching. Looking forward to connecting with you all. Nithyanandam.